Right. Ready to okay. One straggler. How's it? Hang loose. Welcome to Mongoose Max Hawaii, the channel. Yes. Aloha, everyone. It is Thursday, June 11th, and I can turn this little extra effect on and put this up by the power of Grayskull. I actually have a gray skull. It's June 11th, it's just Thursday, and that is, where am I? Oh, we have this. Goes to box. Where am I?
It's hiding.
Thank you. We got, the random word generator pretending it's talking from beyond. Okay, so I have and this is working. I'm having pieces of this setup, which is the OBS Studio blacklight camera on a little camcorder, not a camcorder, one of those little cameras you put on the top of the computer, you know, the chat cam, one of those on the tripod. It's all set up, okay, and my little system here I think is in place. It took a long time there's a lot of little moving parts to put this little thing together. This is kind of weird waking up. I have to wake up before the sunrise, so it's summer, so that means earlier.
Table.
The other day, oh my gosh, my friend could call and then it was blah 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 about this stuff in hours, and I got very little sleep. So today everything's casual. The birdies, even there's like a straggler bird, but the bulk of them, and that's the idea, are not roosting in the backyard, and they're roosting somewhere else safely. So yeah, they are protected, but they can be roasted. Oh, there's a cat that goes around here too, so that's for their benefit.
Can you hear it?
For my benefit mostly. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? No. If you listen, they're gone for right now. Last night though, man, I'm sitting there like it's kind of late at night, or not that late, and I had the TV going, and I just get back and I'm like looking at that thing, and all of a sudden right outside my window, it was just whoa, what? When I don't want to get into recording them and then showing the recordings, because that's a whole kind of just let it go. That's the theme. Let it go. Okay, so that's a little bit of the vlog. I can take my time, but I want to make these shorter and I appreciate if you are watching. You don't have to watch every day if you don't want to, but I'll click on it for a couple seconds so I get a little view registered. But I do appreciate, and if you push the like button, it makes it go elsewhere too. If you comment, if you share it to somebody else, or if you click the like button, that's the easiest. Then it ranks me up in the algorithm. But I'm not monetized, and I don't really have a hope of getting monetized. I don't think so. I'm not really pressured out about that. But I see the views, and if you are watching, I do appreciate it. That's just, but I'm not obligating you to watch. Just have a little fun here, you know. Well, try to have fun. That's the whole idea, is this stuff about the news. Okay, now back to the news. Well, to the news for first right now. And there's so much weird going on. Before the news, though, today is a different day in that today is, well, it's another day, but it's Kamehameha Day. Yes, Kamehameha the First, or Kamehameha the Great, who is attributed with unifying the islands, all the tribal Hawaiian the tribal thing with the chiefs, the kahunas, and the ali'i, and the chiefs, and the whole makahiki thing, and the culture of the people that were in place when Captain Cook got here. He got his ass kicked the second time he came back because they thought he was the god Lono, but they come back and say, "This ain't the god." And hey, what are you doing? You're taking this chief's son. All that happened on the Big Island, and so did Kamehameha. He had his little rise on the Big Island. I think he was in competition with his brother on the Big Island to be chief of that island. Each island had a chief, and so when he became chief of that island via warfare, which is how you get the most mana, warfare and conquering like that. In a sense, the way Trump has taken over a lot of stuff, he would be considered of great mana, because it's like a force, life force that takes over, and strength. So when Kamehameha took over the Big Island, one of the things he did was go over to the other islands and conquer their chief. So he went over and conquered Maui, and then he went over to Oahu here and conquered the chief here. And by that, he tried to conquer the chief in Kauai, but he never could, because it's a little bit more of a distance, Kauai Island. He couldn't quite get there and conquer them, but it was like on the list. So he's on conquering Oahu here.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it was unfortunate if you were living here under the chief of the king of, you could say, of Oahu. So he came over for the high chief here, and by that time he had the British that came in and out with those explorer ships, Captain Cook. He had an ally with them. He bargained with them. So he actually came over here, not on a war canoe, which he would have done, war canoes paddled by the warriors, but he came over on a wooden frigate ship called the American, I think. It was called the American. So it had cannons. So they're dealing with cannons, the ship cannons. But when he came over here, he fought the warriors here, and there's the famous Battle of Nuuanu. So there's Nuuanu's valley, and the end of it is a cliff or Pali. And I mean, it's a drop of like, it's a far drop, like 300 something feet, whatever it is. But they were backed up into the end of the valley, which was the cliff edge, and Kamehameha was battling them, and he wound up pushing the remainder. They battled them off the edge of the cliff. And later on, when they were developing the tunnel, the Pali tunnel, and the road around there, excavation, they did find approximately 800 skulls at the bottom of that cliff, meaning skulls are the easiest to see. I know it was long story, but human bones and burials. But it's easy to spot the skulls, so they figured 800 skulls at the bottom of the cliff. Those are at least the 800. And they were removed and given to the Bishop Museum, and I lost, I tried to research, I lost track of what happened to the 800 skulls. But so the Pali, and you go up there and it's really windy and things like that. Oh, another thing, Kamehameha was the conqueror king, unifying everybody. So it's not like, hey guys, let's get together. It's like, I conquered you all, and I'm the biggest ali'i, or chief, the king, Kamehameha the Great. But he did incorporate, he had some compassion with, he came up with the law of the splintered paddle, I think it is, law of the splintered paddle. So it's about when the warriors were conquering up Nuuanu, if someone was a non-combatant, they're not a warrior, leave them alone, don't attack them. It's not like slaughter all the women and children thing. So it's leave non-combatants alone, don't hurt them. And it was the law of the splintered paddle. And you don't disobey those laws from those guys, because there was human sacrifice. There was like It's like death penalty stuff. And it's very fascinating. That was and then he became king because they modeled stuff after the British Empire at a certain point. Instead of head elite chief, king. And then they have this statue over here, Kamehameha I. Nowadays, it's kind of sanitized a little bit, and it's like King Kamehameha the Great, and he unified. Like we all got together under the great king. Oh, and everyone was happy. It's not quite like that. He just conquered everybody. So there's a statue, and they put leis on the statue. As a little story, keeping a little bit of the somewhat idea of the history of Hawaii. Anyways, the other stuff is like Trump stuff, and he's got his cage match on the birthday on Flag Day. It's coming up on the 14th, which is a Sunday.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows why. I don't know. It's Flag Day. They want to kind of connect it to July 4th. They kind of are having the cage match, I guess, still. And then there's a week-long celebration, which is like on the county fair. God looks down and goes, hubris. Anyways, there's lots coming up. So Hawaiian news. Yeah. So, restoring safety. Now, in this place, this story is about this lady, and she's like, hey, you know what? What? Okay, there's like these kind of housing, that like supportive housing, so so you're not homeless. They got temporary, residence, stable housing, they call it. But on the shore, this is a where is it? Kalihi waters. Well, anyways, out there on the water, there's like overgrowth of this stuff, and the other homeless, not these people, but the homeless would gather over here, and they built like this little homeless shoreline city, and they had like 3-story structures. It was just packed, and they would come over to their houses at night and go, let me use your hose, and it's like, and they just feel a little bit more safety because they just bulldozer them all out of there, which is a good thing, and it's also just a testament of homelessness in Hawaii is just whacked. Oh, speaking of homelessness in Hawaii, the inflation rate was calculated at 4.2%. Okay, so the Consumer Price Index, which gives evaluation of what things are priced for people who buy, the consumer, and the prices are all up. So they calculated that the inflation rate is now from 3.8% to 4.2%, which is like a bad number. And the Fed, with its interest rates, going to go, we're going to keep the interest. We're not going to lower the interest rate, the Fed. But also, I wanted to point out that in Hawaii, that 4.2% is actually 5.1%. That's right. It's more expensive to live here. So that's not the reason why they're homeless. Some of the homeless, but not all the reason. But okay, doing this. So they remove those people and they're feeling safer. U.S.-Iran exchange attacks. Yes, the ceasefire peace deal is actually Iran and U.S. firing missiles back and forth because they downed a helicopter, and that's where it stands right now. It's sort of stalemate. So
monster.
We're at $100 billion plus $2 billion a day. Yesterday I said 20 billion. It's about $2 billion a day, but it's over $100 billion so far. So, here we go. Okay, so sports. Oh, gee, what happened? Trump attended Spurs, Antonio, Knicks, New York. So Trump attends the Knicks game, the third one, and the Knicks are up with this series. And when Trump attended, they booed him during the national anthem, and Knicks lost. This is the next game, and Knicks are back, and they won. So it's like, it's kind of like the voodoo curse. Oh, please don't. And then it was, oh gosh. And Trump went to the game and kind of slept through it with his Diet Coke, even though Pepsi was the sponsor of the game. Oh boy. Hey, let's see what's in Yeah. Oh, this lady again. Jeez. What's back in the day? 1960. Remember 1960 when I relaxed? You just hang in there and just like do the quartet, the police quartet. Sing a police song to this parking meter. La la la. It's a quintet. We will sing in harmony to the police parking meter. The downtown Honolulu and Waikiki parking meters are for double trouble. Youngsters in uniform are police cadets. Oh, the little meter maids are guys now. And they're going to do these in the cadets. And they're here, they're like, what? What? 11 other cadets. They're 21. We will give you a ticket. The mayor's going to make lots of money. Okay, well, in harmony. Okay. Oh, I forgot to freaking look at the thing. Oh no. What am I gonna do? Oh, the cage match. Oh no, what am I gonna do? Oh wait, there's Japanese word of the week. Cool. Shrinyoku.
The bright leaves of early summer. Shrinyoku.
Oh.
Change.
Yeah. And a flock of freaking birds. Ibis crisp. Oh, political cartoon. Here we go. $1.8 billion slush fund.
Why am I losing your support?
Oh, you must give me $1.8 billion so I can give to my allies and my thugs of January 6th. Why am I losing your support? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. What do we have here?
Trump corruption level never seen before. Trump may have the national defense. We will Christmas pattern. I hope for presidency.
Governor Green got threatened online by some guy in Montana. I don't know what's going on with this. But you know what? Let's look at
Missing.
Well, you know, Trump's corrupt. What does this one say?
Trump may well have a national defense strategy.
Oh. The Honolulu Star-Advertiser and the New York Times are supporting the position that Congress should make the president end the war. You apparently have no idea that President Trump might have a, quote, national defense strategy to make things happen on a world scale that will ultimately favor the United States. You want him to fail. Iran has spent 47 years stringing along the U.S. as it continues to press for the nuclear weapon capability to destroy the Great Satan. Trump has made it clear that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Definitely not. Congress, the New York Times, and you seem to support Iran, the host of the most world terror, getting those nuclear weapons. Unlike Congress' recent past of ignoring presidential military operations, like President Obama's, it is now in the U.S. interest to allow Iran to leverage this war powers issue to its advantage. Toby Rushforth Kaneohe. Yeah, thank you, Toby. Yeah, I've heard this one before. Iran having a nuclear weapon, yeah, that's probably wrong. That's a bad idea. Mostly because they use it on Israel. The U.S. there was no power to do so. We weren't in danger that way. It's not like Cuba Missile Crisis. However, once everyone can be on board with no, they shouldn't have a nuclear weapon, that is now used as the cudgel, the shield, the main reason why excuse is, if to say, to have Trump do what he's doing right now. And it's probably not the way. He took a perfectly good Obama agreement with Iran and ditched it because it had prints of Obama all over it. And now he's trying to renegotiate a similar deal right now. And he's not able to do so that well. Instead of $1 billion that Obama handed it back to Iran, the frozen assets is $24 or $42 billion to give back to Iran. And they're still at they're still firing at each other. The war has costed over $100 billion. It's $2 billion a day. It's not a ceasefire in place. And Iran now realizes that they can just control that Gulf Strait of Hormuz and cripple the world economy with oil supply, if they so want to. So So get off the 47 years of flag burning and burning Uncle Sam and going, we must get the right side down. Because they're religious fanatics, Muslims, religious fanatics. You get off that horse. No one's supporting Iran. They're not supporting the way Trump is handling this situation, which is kicking the hornet's nest. I mean, China's trying to get involved. Russia's trying to get involved. They're taking advantage of that. And we're in a worse position than we were before he just is like, what? He doesn't know what he's doing. He just wants to, he just thought he could invade Venezuela, got away with it. Now we can do the same thing with Iran, and it was a big effing mistake. And it created more of a situation.
Magic.
Today, the Pentagon is being evacuated because of the hazmat alert. So the Pentagon, it's like a small city trying to be evacuated. It's a hazmat. There's a danger, Will Robinson. But they kind of tentatively figured that it was a false alarm because systems can trigger if they detect anthrax. Like your smoke alert system detects smoke. If you burn your toast, the smoke alarm goes off. In this case, they can detect anthrax and things like that. So it could have been triggered by cleaning materials or some other common, like, oopsie, okay, the alarm went off, everyone's fine. It's probably that situation. But it is totally okay for them to evacuate the Pentagon, or the non-essential personnel of the Pentagon, because why wouldn't they? Look at the current situation. Yeah, if Iran could do something, they would. But right now, they're just all over there. They're controlling the oil passage, and they're going, you can't do a thing about it, deal with us. And they're headstrong. And Trump is like, whatever, I'm going to go to a Knicks game and build a cage match for myself on my birthday, and I'm going to have a UFC, I'm going to have a battle fight, I'm going to have for my birthday, and redo and build himself empire memorials and triumph arches, and what it is insane. So, you are against having a nuclear weapon. That's all BS. Stop it. Struggle. It's a struggle. So, anyways, it's all trying to twist it around because the big thing is the midterm elections. They're already being twisted right now. It's just the primaries. The real ones are in November, but they're trying to be twisted around, and that's like the main emphasis. Anyways, it's a nice day, so aloha to you.
Sorry for being like, there's so much to tell you, but it's aloha to you guys. Good.